What's up, y'all? Welcome to Jey and Meka channel. Back. This is part two of week one of the Islanders, Love Island, season 7 being out and about. And they're all over their social medias, and we're just kind of having chit chatting and talking about some of the podcasts that they've been on. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
Especially because usually white men that date black women really hold them on a pedestal. Look at the fact. You see Nick, he's licking the bottom of this woman's foot.
Baby, I don't know how I missed that in the on the episode when I watched it, but I was like, once again. Okay, once again.
Like, and the way he did it, I'm not a feet person, but like the way there was no qualm in him doing it. He licked that thing from the heel
from to the top of the toe. In mouth.
Was looking nasty.
And then licked his lips when he was sitting next to Sierra. When Sierra's like, yeah, I still taste her nail polish, her toenail polish in my mouth.
He was like.
But I feel like some of this also, and these podcasters would have did this stuff regardless, but I do remember when Sierra was like, if it was anybody, I'm glad it was you. That it was like kind of like a undertone there with that. It's almost like, oh, I know he's not gonna go for you, like, like type of thing.
Yes, mind you, to be clear, when they were in Casa Amor,
yeah,
okay, after they had kissed and stuff, and now they're kind of coming out and like slowly breadcrumbing. I am 100% positive that if Alondria had said when he asked her, "How do you feel?"
Yeah.
About this, if she would have said, what she felt, because she said later, I really did feel something. I just also felt guilty.
Yeah. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
If she had said, I feel guilty, but I really do like you. Like, I really do something here. He would have been like,
bet. Let's go.
You know what I mean? I feel like he followed her lead.
He did. I feel like he did too. I really feel like he did. And I will say, I think that Alondra carries herself in such a way that it's like, I think sometimes Nick feels, and I think he might have said he's intimidated sometimes because she's so, you know what I mean? She's so poised. You know what I mean? She's very, and she's mature. So it's like,
she's classy.
Yeah.
She's a little bit older than him, right?
Yeah, she's 27 and he's 25. Yeah, 25 or 26, but yeah.
Yeah, so like
I think he's 25.
He's got a little bit of age on him.
Yeah.
And he's goofy and funny and stuff like that. But I think for her, that opens up two different things in the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
She gives him that like classy woman vibe, but like sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he really likes that.
Yeah.
And she makes him laugh.
Yeah.
He makes her laugh. Which you don't see her laugh a lot other than when she's with Nick.
Yeah, so they were saying that, and it was other cast members were saying, Chris was like, I had no idea Alondra was that funny. It was like, we didn't get to see that in the villa. And I have a feeling it has a lot to do with and the mom said that about how she feels like Alondra brings out the man in Nick. And I feel like that Nick brings out the playfulness in Alondra and allows her to be soft. Can we talk about that soft conversation? It's just like, I need people to understand, like, women will follow you if they trust that they can follow you. If they don't trust that they can do that, they're not gonna be submissive or follow you, right? Like, they're not gonna do that. And she has so many words that she's able to just chill. He's always, are you okay? Do you need anything? How are you feeling? He knows that she kind of has like a little bit of social anxiety because she's not used to all this attention. You know what I mean? And so he gives her space. He takes on the interviews for her. He goes on these podcasts by himself and he will say like, well, Alondra is just kind of taking a moment. I got it. Yeah. That is a man. I'm sorry, that is a man through and through. Like, as young acting as he may
Absolutely.
be, he has a lot of great qualities, I feel like. So
And two, I really do like that he took the opportunity in these interviews, where people really were trying to find vague ways to, speak around what they were trying to say,
mhm.
to be like, look, that Chicks in the Office podcast, he dropped Alondra's name first 5 minutes into the interview.
Mhm.
This is my woman.
Yeah. And it was funny because when he did that, they were like, the girl was like, oh, yeah, because he was like, yeah, Laundry, I got to get with her about my wardrobe. And the lady kind of stuttered. She was like, oh, yeah, Laundry, yeah. But anyway, what, da, 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 da. Like, she kind of moved around that or whatever. And I was like, ooh.
Like, and when you have to watch the facial expressions too, because they're very telling. They wanted so bad to have some type of nugget,
right.
To say, see, I really just don't believe this. Nah. He was truthful too. Like, he wasn't gonna lie. He was gonna say, we both were like really having to get to that place.
Mm-hmm.
And the big turn for them was like the families,
yeah,
reaffirming like, that's all right, like feel comfortable in that.
Yeah, and having their support. Yeah, having their support meant a lot, I think.
And like, I think even though we kind of try to glaze over Sierra, and her situation, I'm pretty sure they both did feel some bit of guilt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It was very obvious that he liked Alondra more than he liked Sierra.
He did. I think it was just the way the cards fell when they first got in the house. Because I think his intention was to go after Alondra. But then they brought Sierra in, and Sierra was pressing hard. Like she was. I remember.
Even with Bella there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was definitely. And again, when you drop the cat.
Drop that cat. Drop the cat. And kept dropping it. Every time she thought that man was looking somewhere else, she kept dropping it.
Every time. She never failed. And the fact that he talked about it the way he did, it wasn't like excitement over it.
Yeah. I got a feeling that he wasn't really feeling her when she asked him. She was kind of pressing him, saying that she wanted to kind of be closed off before the whole Casa Amor thing happened, right? And he was kind of like, no, you go explore. I mean, that's what we're here for. She's like, but I don't want to do that. And he's like, well, you're going to do that. So he was like, because I'm going to go over here. Like, he's like, whatever. So I think... and I feel like if that was Alondra, I feel like if Alondra was said, it would have been a whole different story. I really feel like he handled, looking back. Yeah, looking back. Looking back, he handled Sierra very differently than how he handles Alondra. And I don't know how people try to paint it, but if you say otherwise, you're lying to yourself. That, it's like, so that's the whole Nicolandria thing. The other thing I want to talk about in regards to the podcast, Huda and Chris have been making their rounds. And we can start with Chris on Vol Files. Is that how you say that man's name? I'll just say, and this will be very brief, y'all. Chris was, I feel like he was very protective of Huda. I feel like he did not bash Huda. I feel like he said that they are friends as far as he knew, that they're friends, and he didn't completely like shy away from the idea of them being together as a possibility later down the line, something like that. He said he's not going to say never. He talked about her good qualities in that interview. He gave her a lot of grace. Huda did not. Huda went on, call her daddy, and I will say this, and I've been saying it. Huda, I knew this before she had the interview. You could just tell by the way she handled certain situations that girl had been through some things. I assumed it was more so just men, crapping on her, because dudes will do that to you. They'll drive you crazy. They'll have you off doing, and we have all been there. That is not beneath none of us. So no judgment there. We all had a wild out moment. Okay. But however, she has been had some additional family trauma in her life. And that really lends to a lot of the ways that she handles a lot of things. She has a lot of hurt in her. I do feel like she probably needs to take more time to work on herself and love herself and see herself for the beautiful woman she is, because she is beautiful, and just work on herself. I really think that she needs to do that. I'm a girl's girl, I guess you could say, but maybe not by the definition of 2025, because a girl's girl in 2025 is like, I'm going to condone bad behavior. That's not help. You're not a friend to nobody when you're doing that. You are setting them up for failure. Like, it's time for us to be real with our friends, with our families, you know what I mean? And respectfully, of course, you know what I mean? Huda is feeling herself right now. She got out that villa and she found her stands, and the Huda people, they Huda down. They love Huda, and anything Huda does is okay. And she's kind of rolling with that, and that's what she did on this Call Her Daddy interview.
She was in her. Listen, the only reason why I don't respect Huda, really in any way, shape, or form, kind of specifically when it comes to the breakdown of her stay at Love Island. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not saying she's not I don't know her outside in her regular life.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think in this situation, she got out of the house, got into the comments, understood where she stood with people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And for someone like her, she will go with whatever puts her on a pedestal. Period.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, she took zero accountability for anything. She was victim in every situation.
Yeah.
And just like I said, when she was
every situation,
she is someone who plays to the crowd that calls her victim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, specifically in the house, look at every situation in which she did something wrong, but she's crying.
Yeah. And she's very good at leaving key points out of situations to kind of create that narrative, like the whole thing when they're at the table. And it's so crazy how that narrative can be painted so easily when we visibly saw that man put his hand out to walk her off of that thing. I agree 1000% with him. He do not have to pick that girl up and carry her. And he had a point. He's like, we're friends. You're not mine anymore. You're not my girlfriend. As a gentleman, I'm going to help you down. But if you don't want to accept that, then I'm ready to go back to the house. You know what I'm saying?
even before that, like, go to the situation after the heart rate challenge, right? Everything went down. Alandria is sitting by herself at the table eating her food. Okay? Alandria, who just happens to be the best friend of the person who you just got into drama with, okay, is sitting there minding her business. You come and make it a point to come over there, put your plate down, look all sad. What she wanted was that moment of Alandria comforting her. Yeah. Therefore, giving her validation. You know what I mean? From Shelly's best friend that she was right. Alandria was like, I'm not going to give you that.
And then that made Alandria mean.
And that made her mean girl. Like, no. And she does that. She has done that time after time. In the situation after the mailbox challenge, all of the girls are sitting together. She goes and sits 10 feet away. Yeah. Waiting on somebody to ask her what was wrong. Yeah. Waiting. Yeah. 18, And that's why didn't you just go sit somewhere else? Or why didn't you go sit with the guys? Like, if you don't want to sit with the girls, why are you over there?
Right. And then like I want to the again about how she spins the narrative sometimes. And it could be something so minuscule but it really will make the story completely different and it'll go in her favor. Shelly, she tried to talk to Shelly. Listen, if I listen, you can come and apologize to me. I do not have to accept your apology. Okay? Like that is a rule as an adult or as a person. Someone can I teach my kids that. You do something to somebody, like, and they try and you want to apologize to them and they don't want to accept it, that is their right. You know what I mean? To not accept it.
Yeah.
In that case, Shelly was like, I want to talk to you. She's like, not right now. She was like, I just, I'm irritated right now. She was like, but we'll talk about it. And then they're walking off and you hear Shelly initiate, I love you. She says that to Huda and Huda says it back.
Yeah.
Why did Huda go over to that bar? And when Amaya and them came over there, she was eating and she was all teary eyed. And they were like, did she want to talk or did you talk to her? And she was like, she didn't want to talk to me. Why didn't you tell them that she said she will talk to you later, that right now she's just upset? Instead, you made her look like she was just being so mean to you. And like, you know what I mean? And then again, that starts that mean girl narrative. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like.
It's so funny because I've dealt with females like this in my life before, and it's always the attention seeking person, attention seeking. It's just crazy because it's the girl who wants all the attention from everyone. You want all the attention from the friends. You want all the attention from all the men, and no matter how you get it, we'll spin the story. And it's crazy because it's so hard to deal with those type of people because they're extremely manipulative.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, it comes down to just like Shelly stood in her truth with it, Even the next day when they did the message challenge, she was like, "Look, I have no problem talking to you." You know what I mean? But even now, this is aggravating me. Because it feels like you're trying to again create something, and it's like,
right.
So I think Huda's just someone who needs attention by any means possible. Even in the Call Her Daddy podcast, like it was just I can understand having a hard childhood, what I mean? And having things, and being put through things, being bullied, things like that. That doesn't give you carte blanche to be an adult who needs to take accountability for their actions and just not do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah. It doesn't give you license to walk around just treat people however you want to treat them. Just because we've all been through things. Like all of us have been through things and horrific things and whatnot. And, there's a time where this is where maybe the age thing comes into it. I think Huda is how old? Is she also 24, 25, somewhere around there?
Pretty young,
yeah. And maybe, maybe that is something that she needs to kind of develop and learn, over time. And again, hopefully she does do that because if she does, she'll be a dynamic woman, a woman with accountability, but also beautiful, right? like it'll be a couple, she'll have some layers to her,
So. It's interesting because she said she's currently in therapy.
Yeah, she did.
She's already in therapy and she still acts like this. Like,
well, I mean, it's not like a magic wand and you're in therapy, you're gonna act right, but like.
But I always say this. I understand everyone can go to therapy and say I'm working on myself and still be the same person their entire life.
But this is now that is true because then it's like, what are you paying for that for? Yeah.
It's intent. Like, let's be real. You are going to do what you want to do in life.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially, sorry, attention-seeking people, like, they're always going to go that route.
Yeah.
I want the attention. I want the attention from the men. I want the attention, and I want to make friends with all the girls. And it's just.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty much what's been going on for the last,
Yeah.
Week of them being out the villa. I cannot wait to this reunion, baby, because all the cast members, I will say this, every single last one who has done an interview has been like, I am bringing receipts. I've been doing my research. I've been looking at these videos that people are putting out talking about that I'm thinking they're my friend and they're talking mess about me. So this is going to be a good reunion. And I think I heard that Andy Cohen is co-hosting.
Yep.
Which is, right? So I think that's going to be really good. I'm excited about that.
I cannot wait. And to be clear, like August 25th is so much time for so much more drama.
This is the first week.
We got time.
This is the first week, and there's already so much going on.
But you know what though? That's what those podcasters sucked them in as quickly as they could.
They did, yeah.
And gave them no time, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I definitely think it will be interesting. By then we'll know kind of where couples are at.
Right. You know? Right.
Sometimes couples kind of stay together, you know, to be in the
till like through their reunion or whatever the case is, and then they fall off. Who knows? But yeah, so this is it. Hope y'all enjoyed our little conversation here. Hit us in the comments. We do respond back. Go follow Bits of Wit over on Instagram and TikTok. Right now, she is continuing to grow her channel. You're going to see her on here a lot, okay? Because I enjoy talking to her, and this is so much fun. It's girls' time for me. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all our social media channels. You see those down at the bottom, and we will talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So I'm going to stop this.